Cable 7 and 103.7 WTIB present Talk of the Town with Henry Hinton. News, sports, and community information, and everything that's going on around town. Now, with Talk of the Town, here's your host, Henry Hinton.
All right, welcome back. Nasty morning out there. Drive carefully if you're on the way to work. I just stuck my head out the door, and it's kind of a breezy, chilly, drizzly morning here in Greenville. Probably like that where you are as well. Be careful if you're on the road today. 4 minutes after 8. Nice to have you back. Matt Engelbrecht's here from WITN. Good morning, Matty Ice.
Good morning. How are we doing?
And performing much better than the original Matty Ice I might have had on Monday Night Football.
That was rough. That was rough to run. The Jets get the win, though.
How about the Jets?
Man.
Who knew?
No.
Who knew? They just had to take the what's his name out as quarterback and get some, which frustrates me because David Garrard could be the quarterback for the Jets right now. But
You talking about Sanchez?
yes, Sanchez.
He's done for the year. He got season-ending surgery last night.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
He's never really lived up to the hype.
Yeah.
He's good looking now. He's got a model. But except when he started wearing the hair, what is the thing? The barrette, not the barrette, but the hair band. I'm like, come on, dude.
You're going the wrong way with this conversation.
Butch it up. Come on, dude. You can't wear a woman's hair band on your hair if you're an NFL quarterback.
True.
I don't care how cool you think you are.
True. Yeah.
Rick Santorum, former presidential candidate, is coming to Greenville. He's going to be on the phone with us. He's going to do a little preview of why he's coming to Greenville, and we'll ask him about some of the issues in a few minutes. Also, the annual Rose High School golf tournament, the Scales Aldridge Garner Golf Tournament is coming up, and the big weekend at Rose High, I believe it's next week, and we're going to talk to the fabulous Garner boys about that. Griff Garner, who was a state champion Rose High athlete, and his son Brad are here. We're going to talk to those guys about that in a minute. I did not. We talked so much last hour about the government shutdown and this breaking story that broke yesterday that if you miss this, had a lot of calls last hour, kind of dominated our conversation last hour. The fact that the Pentagon confirmed yesterday that as long as the government budget impasse continues, it is not going to pay death benefits to the families of troops who've been killed in Afghanistan and other places around the world. Currently, there were 4 Americans killed in action this past weekend, and their bodies are being flown to Dover Air Force Base in Dover, Delaware. And normally, each family would receive $100,000 in death benefit to bury the soldier, to take care of funeral expenses, to help the family get to Dover to meet the remains of their loved one and that kind of thing. Yesterday, the Defense Department announced they're not doing any of that, which I say is just more of the dog and pony show. It's like somebody sitting in a conference room saying, let's come up with something new to bring attention to this. And, of course, I think the Department of Defense, if Chuck Hagel, the Secretary of Defense, doesn't get this handled today, I think he ought to resign. I think this is the most unconscionable piece that we've heard so far. It's one thing to close down Shackleford Banks and Hatteras Island. By the way, Keith just sent me an email, speaking of that, saying as far as Ocracoke is concerned, says Henry, Park Rangers evicted all the sailboats from the National Park docks on Ocracoke. No ranger usually works there. You put your dockage fees in an envelope and then leave it in a drop box. Also, there are no facilities for the fees to operate for the boaters, so they're actually spending money to prevent visiting boaters from paying them money. Go figure. And speaking of that, I got another text from Benny this morning, and Benny's comment was, any bill by Congress to pay back pay to employees should include the loss of revenue for business in the parks, in the National Park Services. That's a good idea as well. Can't make it up. Before we get on to our guest this hour, I wanted to mention what's going on in local politics. I noticed the local newspaper this morning with a story this morning about we talked about this the last 2 days here on the show about the political action committee that has been formed to to run ads against City Councilman Calvin Mercer. And the Daily Reflector called me yesterday, and I'm quoted in this article here this morning. They almost got my quote right. But I just mentioned that this PAC, which is called Citizens for a Better Greenville, is not only running ads on this station, but other stations. The article says Hinton did not comment on other specific stations. Well, of course I didn't. All I said was that, yes, the ad is running here and on other stations. Why would I comment on what other stations it's running on? It's kind of a stupid comment, but the point is that Calvin Mercer yesterday put out a press release and saying that that there are flyers and radio ads. There are flyers being placed at churches, at high school football games, at 5 Point Plaza, on doors in some neighborhoods, according to Mercer, questioning his religion. And again, this is just part of the. Here comes the righteous indignation. This is. I've said this now for a week. This local election in Greenville is nasty and getting nastier by the second. There are 2 political action committees that have been formed, and I don't remember in the history of Greenville politics there ever being one political action committee being formed. And so you got one side against the other side, and you got a block of candidates against a block of candidates and that kind of thing. And here's the thing here's what I would say. You got Calvin Mercer up here questioning, people questioning his ethics. Yet on the bottom of the same page, you have this Board of Elections residency challenge to Terry Williams that we've talked about for a week now, where there are people on the other side challenging that she actually lives on Oxford Road and is eligible to run in District 4 in Greenville. And there have been numerous letters to the editor. You talk about questioning somebody's ethics. Talking about, calling her a deadbeat and things like that because she and her husband declared bankruptcy. And as we've talked about a lot here on the program, and you know the story by now, Terry Williams' husband, Tommy, who is a builder, has cancer. And I think it's just unconscionable that anybody would call her any name and talk about her financial woes as a result of the fact that her husband was on a feeding tube for 11 months and nearly died. But they had the residency hearing yesterday, and it was a total waste of time. It was a total waste of taxpayer money and time because the folks on the other side challenging her residency when clearly she lives in Greenville on Oxford Road because she once listed on a bankruptcy document that she listed her residence as being in Bath, which is her family's summer home. But she had plenty of documentation to show that she lives in Greenville. And, I was not at the hearing yesterday, but immediately the Board of Elections threw this out and said, no, this challenge is not valid, and, she can continue to be a candidate, which everybody knew was going to be the case. But I just wonder if these people are trying to make a point. I talked to 2 different people that were here at the hearing yesterday, and they said that the arguments against her candidacy were absurd. This one guy even got up and said, well, we know how she's going to vote on certain things, and they pointed out some things that had been voted on, and if Calvin Mercer had not been our city councilman, she'd have voted the other way. What's that got to do with her residency? Isn't that what that just kind of proves their point, doesn't it? They don't want anybody to be on the ballot that doesn't think like they think, which is a little bit absurd. And then there was a comment made by someone in the hearing yesterday, well, I've lived in Greenville for years, and I don't know who this woman is. Oh, well, then let's not let her run. If you don't know who she is, then she must not be a valid candidate. And, of course, Terry served for years as on the Redevelopment Commission, talked about the Williams family and what they've meant to the community for many, many years. So that challenge is over. But, again, I will just say this. I do believe it's gotten too nasty on both sides. But you can't, again, this righteous indignation that look at what they're doing to me. I mean, who started it and why is it happening? I mean, these are neighbors running against neighbors. We should all be able to disagree and hold a campaign without people going to Washington, D.C. style tactics in a city council election, seems to me. I did get a quote last night emailed to me from Terry Williams saying, "I'm so pleased that we've been able to quickly and effectively resolve the matter. I have lived most of my life in Greenville where I've worked, raised a family, and served the community through participation in various organizations, including the Greenville Redevelopment Commission, an appointed position that I held for 5 years, 2 of which I served as chairman." For those of you who don't know who she is and were willing to come out to a hearing and say something that stupid. Now this protest is behind me. Our team is ready to focus on the issues facing Greenville and why I am the best candidate for the District 4 seat. So you've got people calling people deadbeats. You've got people writing letters to the editor, questioning their ethics. Now you've got ads being run questioning people's ethics and their religious beliefs and things like that. It's just gotten nasty. It's just gotten nasty. I said from the beginning this was going to be the nastiest election in Greenville history, and I think so far I'm looking like I was pretty right about that. 8:15, let's get a break in again. Rick Santorum is going to be with us. He's coming to Greenville October 22nd. And big golf tournament next week, the Scales Aldrich Garner Golf Tournament. A lot to get to, including WITN News headlines. And we'll get it all started with Matt Engelbrecht next. Be right back.
Eastern North Carolina's best selection of used cars and trucks is at East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Greenville. The great folks at East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep will put you in a quality pre-owned vehicle for as low as $99 a month. East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep will pay top dollar for your trade. Right now, no matter the condition. Acres of sedans, minivans, SUVs, and trucks. You won't find a better deal on a used car anywhere. So bring in your car and trade up to a quality pre-owned vehicle.
And remember, East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep will pay more for your trade than anyone.
Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage Company will deliver a storage unit to your home or business today. Stallings Storage is the only local company providing mobile storage units 8x15 or 8x10 delivered to your site. If you are remodeling your home or office or need to store merchandise and inventory at your business, you need to call Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage. We deliver, pick up, and store it for you. It's that easy, and there's no need to send your business out of town when your mobile storage needs can be met right here with people you know. Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage is located in Pitt County on Beast Oaks Road. It's a well-secured facility with a live-in manager. Fixed units range from 5 feet by 10 feet to 40 feet by 40 feet. We store boats, cars, anything you need. We are Pirate supporting pirates. Call Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage today at 321-2300. That's 321-2300.
When you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco. No matter where you go in Eastern Carolina, there's sure to be an attractive and always clean Trade Wilco Hess station nearby. For the absolute lowest prices on gas, groceries, and travel necessities, stop at any of the Trade Wilco Hess stations throughout Eastern Carolina. Keep your eyes on the road, but remember to look for the green and white Hess sign. The best part? No one supports the ECU Pirates more. So when you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco.
This is the spot where 50 years ago, Pirates came together to build a stadium, where 50,000 screaming fans cheer their team to victory, where cannons roar to mark each score.
You can paint this one purple.
Where Pirate football lives on. This is the spot you need to be this fall. Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. For tickets, visit ECUPirates.com.
Don't miss the Shaw Floors You Save We Give sale. You save up to $500 on select Shaw flooring, like carpet, hardwood, and more. We give to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital to help them find cures and save children. Hurry, event ends November 18th.
Contact Jason Boyd today at Boyd's Carpet, 115C Fire Tower Road in Winterville. Call 321-7066.
This is an information update from the WITN newsroom to you on 103.7 WTIB.
Good morning. Time now 8:19. Temperatures in the upper 50s, 58 degrees. You'll need the jacket and the umbrella as you leave this morning. I'm Matt Engelbrecht with your WITN News headlines from WITN and WITN.com. Also, keep an eye. If you travel by ferry, we do have a lot of delays coming in because of that low-pressure system between today and tomorrow. Make sure you stay up to date on those as the ferries have been delayed. A suspect who authorities say tried to hold up the Falcon Mini Mart in Pitt County ended up getting shot by the store owner. Deputies say the owner was closing up the store and was in the back when a man walked in with a gun and demanded money. Investigators say the owner shot the suspect in the arms, and the suspect fired his gun, wounding a friend of the store owner. Deputies say the suspect ran away and went to a nearby house, claiming he was in a car wreck. Investigators responded to that home and had the suspect in custody. The accused gunman's name has yet to be released. Deputies say both the accused would-be robber and friend of the shop owner are being treated for gunshot wounds. Authorities say 23-year-old Lance Corporal Matthew Krause of Maysville is charged with murder, neglect, child abuse, serious bodily injury contributing to the delinquency of a juvenile, abuse, and neglect. Investigators from the Onslow County Sheriff's Office and Naval Criminal Investigative Service say they responded to the Naval Hospital aboard Camp Lejeune July 28th in reference to an unresponsive 11th-month-old. The workers found the infant unresponsive in the care of Krause, who is the mother's boyfriend. The infant died the next day. Krause has been in the brig aboard Camp Lejeune since the death of the infant and is expected in Onslow County Court later on today. And finally, Fayetteville police are searching for two men wanted in connection with the shooting death of a Special Forces soldier who was killed in his home. Police identified the soldier killed Monday night as 35-year-old Sean Wayne Wells. They say they don't believe the shooting was random because they believe the family had some sort of relationship with the men. Authorities say a woman and child inside the home weren't injured. Those are the latest news headlines from WITN and WITN.com. I'm Matt Engelbrecht. Henry?
103.7 WTIB. Weather.
Thank you, Matty. Chance of more rain today, 70% chance of it. 63 the high today. Could get as much as half an inch rain today. And tonight, windy showers early and then becoming more scattered overnight. It's finally going to move out maybe late tonight, early tomorrow. Overnight rain tonight about 50%, 30% tomorrow, 30% tomorrow night. And then on Friday, just occasional rain showers possible and high temperatures in the mid-60s. And then Saturday, mostly cloudy and a high temperature around 72. So it's going to be nicer on Saturday. News and weather this hour brought to you by Homer Tire and the Homer Tire Real Estate Team. If you are trying to sell your home, you need to call Homer, 758-HOME. That's 758-4663. Homer Tire and the Homer Tire Team. Selling more homes right now than anybody in Greenville, and there's a reason why. It's all the work that they do, all the lead tracking from the internet, and all the incredible effort that they put into marketing your home, including all the advertising they do, like these ads right here, for instance. So call Homer, 758-HOME, 758-4663. Remember the Homer Tire Guarantee. Homer will buy the home from you himself if he doesn't sell it by the deadline that you set and by the date, and if he doesn't get you the price that you need. So call Homer Tire, 758-HOME. Remember, you can fire Homer at any time and pay him nothing. And, of course, you can visit him online at guaranteedselLNC.com. All right, 23 after 8. Coming up next, one of the big golf tournaments in town every year is a fundraiser for the Rose High Athletic Department. It's the Scales Aldridge Garner Golf Tournament. We're going to talk about that coming up next week. Be right back.
You want out of your old car but owe more than it's worth? You want credit but the bank won't approve you? Greenville Toyota will take care of all of that during our great September sell-off. Get up to 125% of Blue Book value for your trade. Then get to a new 2013 Toyota with zero down. Corolla's $179 a month. Camrys $219 a month. And get the Greenville Toyota Advantage with covered maintenance for life. Don't miss Greenville Toyota's great September sell-off, where if you give us 15 minutes, we can lower your high car payment.
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and work week daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215 or visit topdogonline.com.
Come on out Highway 43 South to Top Dog Academy, where we know dogs.
Pepsi, born here, raised by Panthers fans everywhere.
Raise your Pepsi for a chance to win the ultimate fan experience. See specially marked 18 packs or visit PepsiRaisedHere.com to learn more.
When you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco. No matter where you go in Eastern Carolina, there's sure to be an attractive and always clean Trade Wilco Hess station nearby. For the absolute lowest prices on gas, groceries, and travel necessities, stop at any of the Trade Wilco Hess stations throughout Eastern Carolina. Keep your eyes on the road, but remember to look for the green and white Hess sign. The best part? No one supports the ECU Pirates more. So when you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco.
You want out of your old car but owe more than it's worth? You want credit but the bank won't approve you? Greenville Toyota will take care of all of that during our great September sell-off. Get up to 125% of Blue Book value for your trade. Then get to a new 2013 Toyota with zero down. Corolla's $179 a month. Camrys $219 a month. And get the Greenville Toyota Advantage with covered maintenance for life. Don't miss Greenville Toyota's great September sell-off, where if you give us 15 minutes, we can lower your high car payment.
This is the spot where 50 years ago, Pirates came together to build a stadium, where 50,000 screaming fans cheer their team to victory, where cannons roar to mark each score.
You can paint this one purple.
Where Pirate football lives on. This is the spot you need to be this fall. Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. For tickets, visit ECUPirates.com.
You Save, We Give sale. You save up to $500 on select shop flooring, like carpet, hardwood, and more. We give to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital to help them find cures and save children. Hurry, event ends November 18th.
Contact Jason Boyd today at Boyd's Carpet, 115C Fire Tower Road in Winterville. Call 321-7066.
Okay, welcome back. One of the real neat golf tournaments and events that takes place in Greenville in the fall every year is the what is called over the years was the Scales Aldridge Golf Tournament originally, and named after a couple of Greenville icons. And then they, at the death of Les Garner, our former mayor, and one of the guys that was one of the organizers of the golf tournament and spent more time than anybody out there trying to raise money for Rose High Athletics, Les Garner, when he died, they changed the name of the tournament to the Scales Aldridge Garner Golf Tournament. And I always enjoy it every year. It's also commemorated each year by the fact that they have the Rose High School Hall of Fame banquet the night before. All of that is coming up next week, and here to talk about that are the fabulous Garner boys, both Rose High athletes in their day. Brad Garner, the son of Griff Garner. We got Griff here as well. Griff, who was on the, am I right, 75 state championship?
Correct.
Are you impressed that I rember that?
Yes, sir. I played for Ronald's first state championship team.
Yeah.
I think Ronald was just a few years older than I was at the time.
I saw Ronald last week. Ronald Vincent, he's the winningest. Is he the winningest coach of any kind in the state, or just baseball coach? I shouldn't say just baseball coach.
I'm pretty sure baseball. I'm not sure about
so he's the
rest.
winningest baseball coach in North Carolina baseball high school history, which is neat. Yes. How you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Wonderful.
This is a great event, and it's all to raise money for Rose High School athletics, right?
That's correct. All the proceeds go to J.H. Rose High School Athletic Foundation, which supports all of the sports, men and women, not just football or baseball, but all the sports.
And the golf is a week from Friday?
That's correct.
And
Friday, October 18th at Greenville Country Club. We have morning and afternoon tee times, 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. and still some tee times available.
I was going to ask, is it too late to get in? Because this is always one of the most fun golf tournaments of the year. Still some available spots?
A few. There is. It's filling up a little bit more than it has in the years past, but we can still fit you in if you would like to play.
All right.
One of our goals, Henry, is to get more and more former Rose graduates to participate.
Mm-hmm.
And every year we get a few more of the old athletes and the other graduates of Rose High School. For example, this past week I got a call from our relief pitcher on that 75 state championship team. He was a year behind me, but I hadn't heard from him in years, and he had heard about the tournament and said he wanted to come and play. His name's Jimmy Averett, and he's going to be back this year.
Oh, good. And I mentioned the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame banquet is always the night before, and it's coming up next Thursday night.
That's correct.
And tickets are available for that. That's dinner and the banquet, and you always honor a lot of folks. And I understand it's a special event this year because every year I'm always honored that they ask me to MC it, and I'm always amazed at hearing the stories from the former athletes who are being inducted to the Hall of Fame. I mean, it's an impressive array of folks that have gone on not only to unbelievable things in athletics when they leave Rose High in a lot of cases, but in their lives. And I know last year there were a couple of tear-jerking stories, and this year is going to be special because the families of the Scales, Aldridge, and Garner families, as I understand it, are going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame next Thursday night. Is that right, Brad?
That's correct. So
your family will be inducted, and so will the families of Booger Scales and Henry Aldridge.
That's correct.
Yes, we're honored and humbled by that award and induction. We're coming in as supporters, but I think probably the most well-recognized member of the Hall of Fame is a supporter as well, and we're glad to be in his category. Of course, that's Marvin Jarman.
Is Marvin being inducted?
Marvin was inducted in the first class. So
that's right.
Marvin's been in the Hall of Fame.
That's right. I forgot that he is. Of course, he was in the first class.
We're honored to be in Marvin's category.
Is it a secret, or can you tell us who else is being inducted?
I can tell you who the others are. There's J.C. Daniels, who I believe played basketball and baseball. He was a great baseball player, and I think he's around the class of 71.
Okay.
Chris McGlawhorn from the early 80s. He was football and track. Wayne Summerall, who played football in the, I think, class of 62. Ryan Gordon, of course, who was on the state championship team in '99 that finished 5th in the country.
Played Little League against my son. I remember he left-hander.
Yes.
Tricky little pitcher.
He was a great pitcher. I think, if I'm not mistaken, based on my recollection, I think he had an ERA that '99 season of like .32.
Wow.
Somewhere around there.
Ryan was one of those guys that couldn't overpower you, but he could trick you on every pitch.
That's
he
right.
was a competitor.
And he went to Greensboro, and I believe was an All-American at Greensboro.
Yeah, he did play at UNCG, didn't he? Yeah.
And then LaShonda Horton, who was my class of 2001 at Rose, and she was a great basketball, track, and I believe softball player.
Yeah. Now, where is the banquet on Thursday night?
Banquet is at Rose High School, in the Commons area right there by the library.
That's a new location this year, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
All right. And it'll be dinner and all that. What's the price if you want to come to the Hall of Fame banquet?
I'm not sure.
But you can come.
Yes. You can come.
If you want to come. Who do you contact? Daryl Harrison? Hawk Harrison has all the answers. Hawk, come in here. Tell us where to get this.
That's one thing we didn't know, but I would say Ronald Vincent.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Hawk, by the way, is in the lobby. He refused to be part of this interview. He said he didn't want anything to do with this interview, although he set it up.
Well, one of the things the families have been blessed by is great leadership of our committee.
Yeah.
And Boyd Lee ran our first committee, and then the late Tim Balance ran our committee for 3 years, and then Daryl's in his 3rd year. And we're so appreciative of those gentlemen who've helped organize and run the Scales Aldridge Garner tournament. This is our 12th year, and over the 11 years we've completed so far, we've raised a little over $225,000 for J.H. Rose High Athletics.
How about that? And Daryl didn't have enough to do, by the way. He did being one of the top NCAA football officials in the country and running a Xerox business and all that. He needed something else to do. Of course, his son was a great athlete at Rose High also.
Yes, sir.
He was.
Yeah. Football and baseball.
Yeah. All right. So it's next Thursday night, the Hall of Fame, and then the golf is at Greenville Country Club next Friday, which is, what's the date of that?
October 18th. Friday, yeah. October 18th.
Brad, do you have the phone number for Joanne Wilder? If you're interested in the golf tournament, call Joanne.
That number for Joanne is 756-3991, extension 206.
And as always, we're selling raffle tickets, and my sister heads that up in the memory of my dad. And we raise about half of our money through the raffle, and we have a flat screen TV, we have an iPad, and we have 2 gift certificates from Kaufman. So we have some nice prizes.
All right, great. So it's all coming up next week. The Scales Aldridge Garner Golf Tournament, it's named after three of my heroes, 3 guys that I got to know. I was fortunate enough to know Booger Scales, Henry Aldridge, and Les Garner, all 3 of them, over my journey as a Greenville resident. And those guys, we should all aspire to be as involved in the community and do it as much for our community as those 3 men did.
Yeah. They came from what's called the greatest generation, and many of them went off to war and served abroad. But then they came back, and that patriotism evolved into service to their community, and that great generation believed in serving their fellow man.
Yep, and those 3 did it well. All right, guys, have we covered it? Anything else you want to mention?
I don't believe so.
Well, good luck next week. I'll see you at the banquet. Looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Congratulations to the Garner, Aldridge, and Scales family on being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yes, sir.
Or the Rose High Hall of Fame next week. All right, 25 in front of 9. Coming up next, the Rick Santorum event coming up October 22nd to raise money for the Carolina Pregnancy Center here in Greenville. We are told that Senator Santorum is supposed to call us here in a few minutes, although there's been some rocky communication here in the last few minutes. We'll get to that next. Hopefully, we'll have Rick Santorum on the phone with us when we come back. Stay with us. More Talk of the Town here for Wednesday morning, October the 9th.
Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage Company will deliver a storage unit to your home or business today. Stallings Storage is the only local company providing mobile storage units 8x15 or 8x10 delivered to your site. If you are remodeling your home or office or need to store merchandise and inventory at your business, you need to call Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage. We deliver, pick up, and store it for you. It's that easy, and there's no need to send your business out of town when your mobile storage needs can be met right here with people you know. Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage is located in Pitt County on Beast Oaks Road. It's a well-secured facility with a live-in manager. Fixed units range from 5 feet by 10 feet to 40 feet by 40 feet. We store boats, cars, anything you need. We are pirate supporting pirates. Call Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage today at 321-2300. That's 321-2300.
Unsafe drivers are all around you, speeding, texting, doing things that cause accidents and result in serious injury.
At Hardy & Hardy, we think those drivers and their insurance companies should be held responsible. We provide aggressive representation in and out of the courtroom, fighting for our clients' compensation for medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering, and permanent injuries.
Count on Hardy & Hardy, protecting the rights of the seriously injured.
This is the spot where 50 years ago, Pirates came together to build a stadium, where 50,000 screaming fans cheer their team to victory, where cannons roar to mark each score.
You can paint this one purple.
Where Pirate football lives on. This is the spot you need to be this fall. Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. For tickets, visit ECUPirates.com.
Having a vision of what really matters is how we succeed. Keeping an eye on the ball, seeing all the things that we need. Focusing on the big picture, always striving to do what's right. Carolina Vision Care, we keep what's important inside.
Don't miss the Shaw Floors You Save We Give sale. You save up to $500 on select Shaw flooring, like carpet, hardwood, and more. We give to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital to help them find cures and save children. Hurry, event ends November 18th.
Contact Jason Boyd today at Boyd's Carpet, 115C Fire Tower Road in Winterville. Call 321-7066.
Okay, welcome back. It's Talk of the Town here on Wednesday morning, October the 9th, and I am told that we are going to have Senator Rick Santorum with us here in just a couple of minutes, former presidential candidate. My buddy Blake Honeycutt is here right now. Blake runs the Carolina Pregnancy Center here in Greenville, and they are the group that is bringing Rick Santorum to Greenville on October the 22nd. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Fine,
Everything going well?
Everything's going great.
Excited that you've got a big national celebrity coming to town with Senator Santorum. But tell me this, for folks who don't know what the Carolina Pregnancy Center is all about and what you do. Well, tell us about the organization real fast before we get the senator on the phone.
Okay, Henry. We are there for the young woman who finds herself in an unplanned pregnancy situation. We offer free pregnancy testing, ultrasound to confirm and date pregnancy, baby clothes, maternity clothes, equipment, parenting classes, all kinds of helps for that woman and her significant others. And
there's no doubt about the fact that you're offering her an alternative to abortion, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, and that's one of the missions.
That is the mission, one of the missions, but we certainly are very respectful of the fact that she has her own choices, that we respect her choice.
So she's not, when someone comes in, she's not pressured.
Absolutely not.
Right. But you're there as an alternative.
Yes.
To give them an option.
We want to, if she wants to talk about single parenting, adoption, or abortion, we'll talk about all three of those things, and to educate her so that she can make an informed decision about what she wants to do.
Gotcha. And every year you have a banquet here in town, and that's one of your big fundraisers, and this year you've got Rick Santorum coming in. Tell me how you're funded. How does Carolina Pregnancy Center get funded? Is it 100% contributions?
It is 100% contributions. We have some wonderful support from the community, the churches, individuals, and businesses who support us, and we do 4 fundraisers a year, and this is our biggest fundraiser of the year, this banquet on the 22nd of October.
All right, and as far as tickets are concerned and where it's going to be and all that, where is it going to take place?
It's going to be at the Greenville Convention Center. Doors open at 6:30. The banquet starts at 7 o'clock sharp. It is dinner. The tickets are $35 each, or you can buy a table of 10 for $350.
Okay. All right. Very good. I'll tell you what we ought to do maybe. We're trying to get Senator Santorum on the phone. Why don't we take a break and see if we can get Rick Santorum on the phone? He told us to call him about now, and we will try to have him when we come back and talk more about this event coming up in Greenville with Rick Santorum on October 22nd. Be right back.
Unlock the best life has to offer for generations to come. Introducing the Legacy Membership exclusively at Ironwood Golf and Country Club. As a Legacy member, you'll not only enjoy all the benefits of an active, family-friendly lifestyle, your children and grandchildren will enjoy membership status as well. Belonging to Ironwood is remarkable. Sharing it with your entire family is even better. Become a Legacy member today, only at Ironwood Golf and Country Club. Golf at its finest, life at its fullest.
Many people in eastern North Carolina suffer from diabetes. The question is, can the disease be managed before it causes harm? Are there lifestyle changes that can help prevent it in the first place? And can a health system really make a difference? At Vidant Health, we're empowering people with tools and resources to detect and manage chronic disease. Can diabetes education and management help members of your family lead healthier lives? The answer is definitely yes.
Accidents can cause serious injuries and create many problems in your everyday life. At the law firm of Hardy & Hardy, we work to protect your rights and help solve your problems.
Attorneys Wayne and Charles Hardy help injured clients understand their rights and work diligently to obtain compensation for their damages and losses. Sharp negotiators, experienced litigators, compassionate attorneys.
If you or a loved one has been injured in an accident, count on Hardy & Hardy.
Protecting the rights of the seriously injured.
Pepsi, born here, raised by Panthers fans everywhere.
Raise your Pepsi for a chance to win the ultimate fan experience. See specially marked 18 packs or visit PepsiRaisedHere.com to learn more.
Having a vision of what really matters is how we succeed. Keeping an eye on the ball, seeing all the that we need. Focusing on the big picture, always striving to do what's right. Carolina Vision Care, we keep what's important in sight.
Many people in eastern North Carolina suffer from diabetes. The question is, can the disease be managed before it causes harm? Are there lifestyle changes that can help prevent it in the first place? And can a health system really make a difference? At Vidant Health, we're empowering people with tools and resources to detect and manage chronic disease. Can diabetes education and management help members of your family lead healthier lives? The answer is definitely yes.
Talk of the Town here on Wednesday morning, October the 9th. We are still trying to get Senator Santorum on the phone. Hopefully we'll get him here before we get off the air. This thing was all set up kind of hurriedly yesterday, and they confirmed that he would be with us this morning, but things do happen. So if we get him, we get him. If we don't, we don't. So I'm sorry that we haven't been able to get him on the phone yet. Hey, Talk of the Town this morning brought to you in part by Suddenlink. And if you like fast internet, remember, summer's gone, school is in. Suddenlink now with all the bandwidth you need for streaming, downloading, and all your surfing needs. Plus, you need it for schoolwork, too, for the kids. Suddenlink's SL200 HD TV has crystal clear high definition. And, of course, that's great for weekend football, for college and college and NFL football, and satellite. You Dish Network customers, they've dumped WNCT, the local CBS affiliate here in Greenville. Don't miss out on your favorite programs from CBS, including local news and weather, as well as NFL, college football. Switch now to Suddenlink and leave those Dish problems behind. You'll be able to see some of the big CBS programs like Big Bang Theory, NCIS, all the stuff that you love. And also, one of the other great advantages of having Suddenlink is having video on demand. And there's some great movies on video on demand in the month of October. The Hangover debuted yesterday on The Hangover Part 3. And this is, again, available weeks before you get on Netflix or Redbox. And that's The Hangover Part 3. Also coming next week, The Heat and Pacific Rim. Later this month, The Conjuring, The Internship, Monsters University, and This Is the End is already on video on demand, along with A Hangover, which debuted yesterday. So call Suddenlink at 866-432-1184, 866-432-1184. All right, McGee is back here with me now. We're talking about things going on in the community. I mentioned the problems with the local elections earlier. We didn't have time to really expound on it. If anybody wants to call about that or the government shutdown or anything else we've talked about this morning, we got a few minutes here. 561-8255, 561-8255. Again, I was talking about the articles in the newspaper this morning that indicate there's some crazy things happening in the Greenville local elections. And it's just gotten out of hand. And, you've got righteous indignation on both sides, and now they're both throwing stones at each other. But, this idea that yesterday, Calvin Mercer comes out yesterday with a press release complaining about the other side attacking him personally, and yet here you have down on the bottom of the page, you've got the Terry Williams residency hearing that took place yesterday at the Board of Elections. And they found that she is, she lives in Greenville. She's perfectly legitimate candidate, and her candidacy for city council will continue.
Thought that would be the case.
Do you agree with me? Has the city council election just gotten too nasty already, and we're still weeks away? Early voting doesn't even start until October 17th. Let's go to the phones, 561-8255. Rita, good morning. How are you, Rita?
Good morning. I'm fine, Henry. Good. My question to you is, you are in media, so what do we do to get the mainstream media to report on the same things you report on? And going out and talking with the general public, they don't know half the stuff that you report.
Well, they know it, but a lot of times they don't want to report it, and they don't report. They don't report it. But I don't know the answer to that. I mean, here's the thing: when you have a radio station like we are, it is our goal to super serve the community and to talk about. We have a format we can expand on things and allow people to talk about things, and we're the only media that can do that. And so I think that we probably give more information about certain stories because we have more time to do it, number one, and that's who we are. That's our venue, and that's our mission. Now, I get frustrated with the local newspaper, and this article today. I thought it was really interesting yesterday. The Daily Reflector. In the history of journalism, I've never seen this. They actually printed a candidate's press release on their website. And I was thinking, so all you got to do to get on the reflector.com website is send them a press release? Would they have done that for any candidate that sent a press release? I've never seen it before. Calvin Mercer sent a press release to the newspaper yesterday. They actually printed the entire press release, which I thought was, at best, it's lazy reporting, right? I mean, that's all.
Well, it's just bad journalism, but it trickles all the way down to WITN, WNCT, Channel 12. They all do the same. Nobody wants to buck the mainstream media.
Well, their mission is different, though, in fairness, Rita. I hear you, but the mission of a TV station reporting the news, I mean, let's face it, I'm not trying to be unobjective. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be objective about a lot of things. What I do is editorialize. What they do on the 6 o'clock news is report the news. And there's a difference.
I disagree.
There's a difference in their mission.
On the 6 o'clock news is report opinions. I love Tom and Sadie because they do news and views. They give you the same news that the 6 o'clock give. They give you their opinion. But
I used to work. I used to work in TV news, and I can tell you, there's a consultant somewhere saying keep the story short, keep the newscast moving. You got a 30-minute newscast, and you got probably 9 or 10 minutes of commercials in there, so you got 20 minutes, and in that, you've also got to get the weather and the sports. So you really probably have 10 minutes to report the news. And
then how do we get the newspaper? How do we get the media to
we've threatened for years here to do a new website that reports local news stories and gives a different point of view than the Daily Reflector. But here's the problem with that. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday who said to me, why don't you do that? We've talked about it forever. Here's why we don't do it. Because it takes money, it takes resources, it takes staff, and you've got to pay for it somehow. It's not a it's not a mission of goodwill when you start something like that and you have that kind of expense to do it right and make it work. And so, how do you pay your staff? How do you pay all your fees? How do you pay your expenses? I would love. In fact, I told somebody yesterday I would actually, maybe that's what I'm going to do when I retire, is do my own conservative news website statewide to answer all the BS that you get from the News Observer and the WRAL and all that kind of stuff. But something that's really, there are some websites out there like Carolina Plothound and Daily Haymaker, but they're really far right website. I just want a website. I'd love to do a website called The Truth According to Henry.
I would like somebody to do one that says the truth.
Yeah.
Me to not.
Well, but I mean, the problem is everybody's version of the truth might be different. That's why I say according to me. I hear you.
Report the facts and let me decide my opinion.
Well, Rita, here's the good news. I ain't going anywhere for a while, so turn them all off and just leave us on if you like what we're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. 561-8255, 561-8255. Come on, is anybody with me on this local election? Is it just nasty right now and getting nastier? Either nobody wants to talk about it or nobody's got the guts to talk about it.
Well,
right?
I will say this. Just to plug.
Everybody has an opinion on it, but they are not necessarily willing to get on the radio and say it.
I believe there was a debate last night, but the Chamber's having a mayoral debate coming up next Tuesday. I'd love for you to come out. And I want to mention, too, that we're taking questions not only from members from the public, so when you register for that and have a question you want answered.
The Chamber's doing this? Mm-hmm. Where's that going to be?
It's going to be the Power Luncheon on Tuesday.
No kidding.
Yep.
Yeah. At
the Brook Valley location.
And I am actually working today on putting together some on-air forums. We have been so busy doing other things, we have not done that yet. 561-8255. Jackie, you're on the air. How are you?
How you doing today?
Good.
Henry, I just wanted to let you know that I listen to you just about every day. And I just wanted to mention one of the things that about the government shutdown was about the death benefits that you mentioned earlier, but also that they were able to fund the NPR and Public Broadcasting Company $445 million.
Yeah.
But yet they couldn't. They cut the money off for the National Cancer Institute.
Doesn't it make you angry that you've got dead soldiers coming into Dover, Delaware that are getting no federal death benefits, but the White House staff, including Michelle's makeup person and her hair person, none of those people have been laid off, but we can't pay for these dead soldiers' funerals?
It is.
That is, I mean, come on, this is beyond the pale.
And I read where John McCain and Lindsey Graham said it was reprehensible and appalling, but these two guys here, in my opinion, they've got out of tune with reality.
They better do something about that today, or in my opinion, heads ought to roll. The American people ought to demand somebody's head over this thing.
Right. Well,
All
listen,
right.
Henry, I'm going to let you go, but I wanted to tell you something.
Yeah.
I wanted to respond to that lady's that lady's comments about you having your own website, replying to different things and just putting your spin on everything. And I just wanted to say, I think you're doing that now, aren't you?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay,
That's what I
Henry,
said. Keep us on, man. Keep us tuned in.
All right, look, we're going to have to try to work out and get us a golf deal with Brook Valley. I've got some deals, through Cutter Creek and Scotch Hall, but see if you can work on. You want a
WTIB deal for Brook Valley? All right, we'll work on that. That's a good idea. We hadn't done Brook Valley. That's a good one.
So I've just started back. I'm getting ready to start back playing. I've been practicing for about 2 months now, and I'm ready to get back into it.
All right, Jackie. Thank you, man. All right, let's get one more in here, and we got sports standing by here. We got McGee. Bill, good morning. You're on.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
A lady was talking just now about the news people on TV 12, 9, 7 reported.
Yeah.
I was floored back during the last election when North Carolina was getting ready to vote on the marriage between a man and woman amendment to the Constitution.
Right.
And one Sunday morning before the election on Tuesday, I was getting ready to go to church and watching the weather. I switched to channels, watching the weather, trying to find out what the weather was. I didn't care about the news. Channel 12 had a lady from Greenville. I don't remember who she was, where she was a councilman, who she was, talking against the marriage, amendment. She was talking against it. And they never gave anybody talking for it. They only gave one side of it.
Yeah.
And right at the end of it, when she got through talking, they flashed two men kissing up there on the TV screen.
Jeez.
And two men kissing just from Channel 12, CWCTI Channel 12. I called my wife. I said, I wish you'd look at this. And that's just off the wall. See, that's what everybody...
We're moving, I've said this before, we're moving down the continuum. It started with MTV and all the programming on gay stuff, and then, it's filtered into prime time, Ellen DeGeneres kissing somebody, Britney Spears and Madonna kissing, having men kissing each other. Get used to it, brother. It's going to be on prime time here shortly. Listen, we got to run, Bill. Thank you for that call. Let's get some sports headlines in here. Here's McGee on sports.
All right, and ECU head coach Ruffin McNeil shared some disappointing news on Tuesday, announcing the junior inside wide receiver Danny Webster and redshirt freshman inside receiver Quate Smyra have been suspended indefinitely for a violation of team policy. They will not play this weekend. Webster is the Pirates' third leading receiver with 18 catches for 144 yards. Ventavious Cooper also out this weekend. He's doubtful for the game, and freshman receiver Jimmy Williams news. He's out with a fractured foot. So the Pirates are going into Tulane on Saturday, not at full strength, certainly with everybody being on tact. Tulane 4-2 overall, him 2-0 in Conference USA.
All right, very good. We're out of time, I think. Do we have Dennis standing by? You want to try to get Dennis on? No, we do not have Dennis. I think did we finally get up with Rick Santoro? No, we did not. That was a false alarm also? Well, anyway. Okay.
It's like the USC imposters calling Tony Dungy. It really wasn't anybody from USC.
All right, and enjoy your day today. My buddy Wendell has just told me up in Edenton, by the way, that the new date for the Elizabeth II visit to Edenton is going to be on Saturday, October the 26th. We were not able to do that event up in Edenton this weekend. They've decided not to bring it in because of the weather. It's going to be windy and rainy and that kind of thing. So no Elizabeth II visit to Edenton on this Saturday, but it will happen on October the 25th. All right, everybody, have a great day. Enjoy yourself and be careful out there and take your umbrella. We'll see you tomorrow here on Talk of the Town.